You are officially an incinerator. Welcome to Incense and Common Sense, the live streams we do here on Alerts on TV. Shout out to everybody because this is a worldwide movement. Love for you guys and girls to become active citizens. Y'all already know how to do that. So I give everybody a couple minutes to get up in here and we'll get this knocked out. I ain't gonna try not to keep you guys and girls too long. Um, definitely. It's got a little bit going on. Sorry I'm a couple minutes late. I was in the kitchen whipping up something right quick. Right quick, I was whipping something up. So make sure everybody know. Make sure you guys and girls hit the likes button as you come in here too. So I give everybody a couple minutes to get up in here. We knock this out. Yeah, I hope y'all having a good day though. I've been trying to get in as much filming as I can before I get back to really working hard for the next couple months. Trying to take advantage of my little time. So as this stuff coming, I'm gonna keep bringing it. Um, I understand. I watched the view count. I know some of the stuff I talk about is not viewed much. That's okay. It's okay because the needle is moving, and that's all that counts. At the end of the day, we got an end goal that we're trying to get to. So, just shout out to everybody. Like I said, it's a worldwide movement. Shout out to all my gun tubers. Give y'all a couple minutes to get up in here. Make sure when you come in, if you're not subscribed to I Got My Foot in It, you guys and girls need to go subscribe to that and view the material. Trying to get up to about 55 people so I can go ahead and start live streaming when I'm cooking over there. So I give everybody a couple minutes to get up in here. But like I said, I got my foot in it. Make sure you subscribe. Yep. Yeah, give everybody a couple minutes to get up in here. Oh, it's a good thing I decided I was gonna stream right here. Yeah, man, this is a funny thing, man. This is something that I've been screaming about, but yeah, I'm gonna go up in here and I'm definitely gonna pat myself like Barry Horowitz from wrestling. Pat myself on the damn back. Yeah, tomorrow. I don't know if I get the opportunity tomorrow. I might go out and do some shooting. Um, I'm gonna try my best tomorrow to get out there and put my head cam on so you guys can actually see me while I'm shooting. I'm gonna try my best, Line man. You can come over there. Well, ain't nobody gonna see you. Yep. Hope everybody doing good. Shout out to all the gun tubers out there. And while I'm here, go Knicks. I know they lost last night, but go Knicks. I need y'all to go ahead on and win them finals. Y'all on the team I root for that ain't won nothing since I've been alive. So, oh yeah. Also, I want to say, shout out to everybody outside of America. We had somebody from India check in last night, last live stream. So definitely, I appreciate that. If you from a foreign country and you watching, drop your country in the description. In the comments. But also, if you watching from another country, make sure you share this with people that's from your country, man. And let's make this a worldwide movement like it is. I was surprised a couple times that I've been to Mexico lately that people recognized who I was. You know, uh, it was kind of surprising. Yeah. So I give everybody another minute, and another couple seconds. We'll get up in here. We'll get it started. You guys and girls know we start at the 5 minute mark. I see somebody keep clocking in and out. All right, let's go ahead and get to it. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. So I gotta toot my own horn. It's been breaking news. The Republicans in Utah have introduced legislation to come up with a national constitutional carry, which is a little bit better than a national reciprocity. I would prefer national reciprocity, or I have to see all the details. The thing is, they've decided to come up with something national and not just something statewide. When I started the Alerts on TV, I told you guys and girls, if you listen to me with these and not with this, we're going to be all right. If you listen to me with this and not these, you may not always hear what I'm telling you. I'll tell you what I mean by that. I've been screaming about national reciprocity, national purchasing, because the states have too much power. And because the states, basically, in one state, you can be a law-abiding citizen and merely crossing the state line, you can be committing a felony. For people who live in tri-state areas, people who live close to state lines, like Moline or Clinton, Iowa, across the river is Illinois. You can run over to Illinois right quick to go grab something and get stopped. And depending on what you have on you, if you got an AR on you, now you got an illegal firearm. Then reciprocity. If you go into Illinois and you only have an Iowa concealed carry permit, it is not going to be legal in Illinois. So now they want to cut that and say that they want to make like your CDLs or your driver's license, where as long as you're able to be legally armed, you can carry anywhere in the United States. I think that's a really good start. Now we got to get the language, which is where it needs to be. But I told you guys and girls, politics affect the Second Amendment way more than a lot of people think. And this is the end result of it. The Republicans have backed themselves into a corner. And I don't want to sound like I'm getting real political, but I'm just saying when it comes to the Second Amendment. And it's to the point now where they see what's going on in Virginia. They see what's going on in Illinois and some of these other states where the libs have super majorities, and they understand on a statewide level, they just got to give it up. So you just go federal to usurp all of that. Now I understand, or I expect, for them to get this passed, possibly some challenges to it. It's my understanding it's been introduced and they're trying to get it passed and into law before midterms. Because you guys and girls know now the Republicans are desperate. They're basically telegraphing that they expect to lose the House and possibly the Senate. So basically they're going to try and throw national reciprocity out there if they can get that passed as a bone to get us all to come out and vote. So that's the kind of the way that goes. But I've been screaming this for a long time. There's been several times, even in the Trump administration, that they had enough votes to get this stuff through, and they just didn't prioritize it because they didn't want to. Because it's supposed to be a political football. It is supposed to be something to get you to come back and vote for. It's supposed to be the carrot on the string. It's supposed to be the carrot on the string. Save something for Miguel. Please. It's supposed to be the carrot on. What's going on, pause and play? It's supposed to be the carrot on the string. Well, now they got to give us the carrot because they're desperate. Without getting too political, you know, Steve Bannon has made it clear already about the things that they got to get to do and get through now, because once Donald Trump get out of office, basically a lot of them going to jail. It was Steve Bannon's words, not mine. I'm just saying. But this national reciprocity thing, like they said, a national constitutional carry is starting to gain steam now, and that's a good thing. It's unfortunate it took this long to get it through, but it's starting to gain steam, and that's what we need. We need to be on them doggone behind. We need to be on them behind all the time. Like I said, Donald Trump being in office, Donald Trump is not a politician. He's more of a businessman. He's more of a negotiator than everybody else. Yeah, Louisiana was a 28th state. Well, they're trying to, like I said, we're trying to, the representative, let me see his name. Y'all give me just a second here. Um, I'm sorry, everybody. Sorry about that. Give me just a minute. Okay, Mike Lee, Senator Mike Lee. Um, the National Constitutional Carry Act is a permitless carry. It's something that they're trying to get expanded across the country. And Representative Mike Lee, like I said, so they've already figured out now that in order to save face, they got to take this from being a statewide practice to a nationwide practice. Now, I would prefer that we get something done through Congress, through the elected officials, and not through the Supreme Court, only because eventually the Supreme Court can come back and overturn a decision. I'll give you an example. Roe versus Wade. When Roe versus Wade got uh, struck down, the states got immediately to work to put it on the ballot and referendums and all that, and to get it on the ballot. Well, the same thing when uh shit, I'm forgetting everybody, but when it came down to that, well, the same thing is when they got that passed, and then they talked about how basically the Supreme Court passed that injunction on gay marriage. And after Roe v. Wade got overturned, Clarence Thomas mentioned about revisiting that decision about allowing gay marriage and writing. The Republicans and Democrats got together and got a law on the books and made it where the Supreme Court couldn't touch it. Well, the same thing that we need now. We need to get this through. I told you the Second Amendment got to be absolute. It has to be a litmus test. It has to be like almost like a nuclear bomb. If you touch it, it's gonna detonate. It's got to be. When we go up to these politicians, local, state, federal, we ask them, do you support the Second Amendment? If they say yeah, but once they start with the buts, they automatically disqualified. We're gonna primary them across the country. We're gonna primary them. We got to get together and primary them. It's supposed to be, do you support the Second Amendment? The answer is supposed to be yes, and then that's supposed to be it. If you start with all these buts and yeah, but, well, I think, no. Because if we give y'all an inch, y'all gonna want a mile. Give you a doggone inch, you're gonna want a yardstick. So, I just think that that's where, going forward, we as the Second Amendment community gonna have to be on them. But they're desperate now. Like I said, across the country. That's something I have been signaling because I have been watching this for years on how the Second Amendment is supposed to be the issue for the right. But when they have super majorities, they can't seem to get it in a place where it can't be tampered with. Well, after watching and paying attention to political cycles for so many years, I started noticing it's because they don't want to get it through. It's because that's the carrot. That's the thing to get us to come back out and vote for. That'll get us up off the couch. So, Michigan don't have a chance in hell of that little thing that they're trying to get passed through there. And these Republicans, they know that. It's political theater to get you to get up and vote in the midterms, though. Because they can scream and say, see, we're trying to do something with the Second Amendment and the Democrats stopping us. And other states is the same way, you know what I'm saying? So, that's what we got to be conscious of. We got to understand that's the mission. The mission is national reciprocity, or as they say, constitutional carry, but I still say reciprocity. Both. I still say get your concealed carry permit just in case. National purchasing power. Blocking all these assault weapon bans. And another thing that we're going to have to do is besides doing all those types of things, national reciprocity and all that stuff like that, then you're gonna have to understand the state laws because places like California and other places, now I just don't want to single them out, gonna start trying to come up with these gun-free zones. So you're gonna have to know where these gun-free zones are. Louisiana, my home state, went to constitutional carry. Here's the loophole they use for the French Quarter. Because the 8th District police station is in the French Quarter, they said they was going to use that as a training facility, and because of where it's at, it made basically the French Quarter be an gun-free zone. That's the little string that they pulled. So you guys and girls understand already that they already got schools as gun-free zones. What they'll try and do is expand these gun-free zones and make it almost to where it doesn't do you any good to carry because you're gonna be in violation. You know what I mean? And the thing is, you gotta understand this: the law is the law, and you're always gonna have some idiot, some moron, some butthole that's gonna try and circumvent the law and try and overexert themselves, just because they'll try and use power just because they can. So you have to watch out for that. Definitely, but the alerts on TV, all the rest of these GunTube channels, if we able to get national reciprocity passed, I don't care who you are, I don't care where you live at in this country, you should go and thank all the people you can in GunTube for getting this through. Because before GunTube came about, this wasn't even a discussion. It was just a little political football, but now we holding their feet to the fire. Like I told you, the politicians, they're watching. YouTube ain't giving us. YouTube ain't, what's going on, Destro? YouTube ain't blocking channels for nothing. We got the right message. They know we on the right path. They know we got everything going the way that it needs to go. So don't you ever think if you do GunTube, even if you don't talk about nothing political, even if you the honest outlaw, all you do literally is shoot guns. Or you Black Rambo and you just shoot guns. They listen to every word you say. And anytime you make a reference about you glad that you can have this amount, that amount, they listen to all that. It may be a small thing to you, but to them it's a big thing. And they acting on it. We got their doggone feet to the fire. Like I said, I think Virginia is going to be ground zero now, in a sense of everybody sitting on the edge of their chair in Virginia. They are basically terrified that they're gonna become California. And what's going on? Yeah, they are basically terrified that they are gonna have to concede to us. So they watching very close. So that's the way it's gonna be, man. They watching these channels. They using our talking points. They understand where it's going. We just gotta stay on the head. And once just get through, let's just say it does get through, Donald Trump needs some W's on the board. This is the time to get everything out of him when it comes to the Second Amendment that I think we can get. I'm hearing reports about them trying to repeal. What's going on, Ronnie? I'm hearing reports about them trying to repeal the law that says that we can't have fully automatic weapons. I think it would be a little bit harder to get that through. However, with the political climate here, Donald Trump, for whatever you think of the man, this is the time, these next couple months, to get everything through nationally for the Second Amendment that we can get through. Because if for some reason the Democrats win one of those seats of power, they're going to fight Trump. They're going to fight him just because. Anytime the Second Amendment come up, they're going to vote along party lines. And nobody going to break with the other side. That's the way that this is going to go. Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin used to be the two wild cards, but they're not there no more. Yeah, this is the time, man. This is my personal opinion. I don't think we had a unified message in Donald Trump's first presidency about the Second Amendment. Because remember, Donald Trump got elected in 2015. GunTube still, I don't even think it was a thing back then. There might have been a couple people showing guns. There was people doing hunting and fishing. But I mean, the genre that became GunTube. In 2015, the majority of the people that... What's going on, man? I appreciate that. All right, 619, you must be down there in San Diego, Southern California. 2015, like I said, when Donald Trump ran, I don't think GunTube was even around. I'm almost sure GunTube wasn't around. You had people doing, like I said, gun videos and little stuff here, but it wasn't what it is now. It's a community now. VA, okay. I don't know why I thought about 619. Okay, yeah, VA. Oh, good. I'm glad somebody from Virginia in the house, man. Like I said, they trying to get this constitutional carry to be national now, to circumvent the states. I know I might have rubbed some people from Virginia the wrong way about some of the things that I've been saying about Virginia, but they've been true. They might be uncomfortable, but they've been true. I haven't lied. I haven't lied about what's going on in Virginia. That you can give me at least. You might don't like that I had to say them, but you're from Hampton, you live in Georgia, okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah, man. So, like I said, now we didn't have a unified message in Donald Trump's first presidency in 2015, 2016. When the Las Vegas shooting happened and he banned bump stocks, GunTube still didn't have no power at that time. The power used to be the NRA. I'm going to tell you guys and girls something. I'm making a bold claim here. GunTube, as a community, a lobbying community, we don't have... These guys got a war chest at the NRA compared to what we got here. But we got organic numbers. We got more power than the NRA now. All we have to do is get on one message, one accord. And even for the guys and girls that just shoot guns and don't do no kind of political commentary, they always let you know about the state they live in and the things that they can and can't have. And whether you believe it or not, when they say, I'm glad we can have this, I'm glad we don't have them restrictions, that's a cosign. You may not look at it like that being a cosign, but I'm telling you how politicians look at it. We got more doggone power than the NRA now. Now we got a unified message. We got people like me and some other people that stepping up and boldly saying it, and they watching. They watching, but it's people like you that amplifies the message. Because y'all watching, because y'all listening, y'all engaging. Why you think YouTube and all this stuff is constantly unmonitored? They look at what you guys and girls say. They look at your views and all that. When they feel like you said something that rocked the boat, they'll shadow ban you. You guys know I've been to about 3 shadow bans already. So it definitely can happen. Like I said, hopefully, as a matter of fact, maybe not tomorrow, maybe next week, I'm going to try and reach out to politicians in the state of Utah and maybe see if I can get an interview or see if we can get them to link up with us so we can try and get this national thing pushed. I told you guys and girls, I wanted to get more involved in the political side and making sure that nationally we get what it is we need. We get what it is we want and need nationally. And like I said, here in Iowa, I've talked to a couple people in Wisconsin. I'm trying to get everybody to get on board. Illinois, their issue is Chicago. But I'm glad, man. I'm glad. Like I told you, the Michigan Republicans, they desperate. The Republicans in Virginia, they desperate. And I don't know this guy, was it Youngkin? Who just got voted out of office in Virginia. Isn't he a Republican? I'm not sure if he had both houses of power when he was the governor, but this was the perfect time to get everything through with him. And he didn't do it. So Sponberger or whatever her name is already knew what to come in there and go after. So we got to make this nationally. If we can get this nationally on the books, we gonna be okay. Yeah. I'm look. If you guys and girls got any kind of connections, you guys and girls got any kind of politicians that'll sit down and entertain me, send them to this channel. They can email me. My email is in the description of this channel. They can email me and I'll damn call them and we can talk about it. At the end of the day, look, I would love to not have to worry about having my gun on me, and if I go across state lines, making sure that I'm in a state that observes my concealed carry permit, and then worried about do I have the right type of firearm on me, because that's going to be some of the language we're going to have to get together. I say this: we need national reciprocity, got to be a part of the bill. Constitutional carry nationwide, part of the bill. Nationwide purchasing. No kind of mag bans and none of that stuff. We got to get all that in the bill. And the reason we got to get all that in the bill is now you another position. Although I have multiple firearms that hold from 5 rounds to 100, I would have to be cognizant of, well, I live in Iowa, so I can carry 25 rounds here. But if I go into Illinois, I can't have that same firearm, or now I've committed a crime. That's why we got to get the language right. The proposal of having national reciprocity, national constitutional carry, is to get everybody excited about the idea and get you to the poll. No. Because the Republicans have had the House and the Senate. This is the second time now under President Trump. They got to deliver before we'll go out and vote for them now. We can't go out there on a hope. No. You guys got the votes. Deliver it now. We don't want it in the Supreme Court hand because you can't trust it. I told you the Supreme Court is a bunch of turncoats. You can't trust them. That's why we in this fix right now, because of the damn Supreme Court. But once we do something federally and get it federally recognized, you ain't got to worry about the state then. In the sense of, if you go to New York State, now you ain't got to worry about going to jail because you got a firearm on you. Because there's a lot of people throughout the years that lives in Jersey and went across state lines for whatever reason, went across the river, went across the bridge in New York, had a damn gun in the car and they forgot. Legally owned gun in Jersey, but it was illegal in New York City and they went to damn jail. A lot that has happened to a lot of people. They just forgot because they still used to having it on them in Jersey or in Pennsylvania. For those of you who know, Philly and New York, it's not a long ride from Philly to New York, so it can happen. So, and if you live in Arizona and Nevada, where you go across the damn state line in California, you in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So I applaud them. I say this. For any politician that might see this, or anybody that see this that may know local, state, or federal politicians, tell them if they really want the Second Amendment community support, send them this way. I'll talk to them. I don't have an issue with that. I'll see what it is they proposing. But I want to see all the details. Because they always say the devil's in the details, Everybody looks at the headline and they'll look at, nationwide constitutional carry. But then they won't start looking at the little provisions in there. And the provisions is what's got to be right. It's got to be worded right. It cannot be vague. It's like Oklahoma stand your ground law. The Castle Doctrine is very specific and direct. It's not vague. We don't want that vague stuff because you don't want to leave it up to law enforcement to interpret it how they might feel interpreting it. Just the headache of getting arrested and bonding out and then getting the charges dropped. You just don't want to go through that headache. So you don't want to leave this up to chance. You want to make sure we get all the details right. Everything exactly the way we want it. But I'll talk to them. Shit. The only thing they can, tell me is they agree with me or not. But hell, I'll talk to them. I'm definitely want to have this because this is just getting. It's nerve wracking. But like I said, it's a great thing if we can get it nationally. Because then, if you can get it done nationally and get it enforced and into law, you ain't got to worry then. You ain't got to worry because for those of you who don't know, the feds over Trump the state. So, because for those of you who don't know, when you fill out for a firearm, for new people, because I always think about people that's just becoming firearm owners or about to become. If you live in Texas and you fill out for a firearm, that's a federal background check you're going through. The state of Texas can tell you that you can buy a handgun at 18. But if the feds say 21, it's going to be 21. And if they catch you lying, they will come and get you. We got a guy here in Iowa. He got some prison time for that shit. Lying on his application. They came and got him. Also, there's another case making its way through that you guys and girls may or may not have heard about. The case making its way through right now is they're trying to get legal carry for people that use marijuana, that have cards, medical marijuana, believe it or not. So, yeah, that's what's going on. They're trying to say that if we law-abiding citizens and we got a card for medical marijuana, we should still be able to carry. We shouldn't have to give our firearms up. Because, they ask you, are you a user of marijuana? You have to say yes or no. If you have a marijuana card, you got to let them know, yeah. If you put no, you turn that in, they catch you, you're going to jail. That's a damn felony. So, that happened to a guy up in here in Iowa, like I said. He had already kind of got into some kind of trouble about weed, and he went and bought him a gun legally. He wasn't a felon, but because something about him with recreational marijuana, shit, they got him for damn falsifying and lying, and they took his ass to damn jail. I think he went to Anamosa for a couple years. So you definitely want to make sure that you get that taken care of. Just national reciprocity, It just if you guys and girls think I'm making all this up, I just want y'all to think about one thing. If I was making this up, you wouldn't have Republican elected officials across the country starting to grasp at this straw to the point where they want to go nationwide with it. They hear us and they fear us too. We got to put some pain on their behind. The Second Amendment has got to be like abortion, a litmus test. There can't be no buts. People who believe in abortion don't want no restrictions. They don't want to hear that unless it's incest or high risk or a rape child. They don't want to hear that. They just want to know that if they decide that they want to get up and go have an abortion, they can go have one. Well, damn it, I don't want to hear all that. I want to decide if I want to get up today and go buy me Ruger 5.7 that hold 20 rounds. I can go buy it and go to any damn state, the damn country, and I ain't got to worry about, am I going to get caught with this and am I going to go to damn jail? So, just thought that we would have this little light discussion with everybody about this, that national reciprocity, you go back 10 years ago, that wasn't even talked about. That wasn't even talked about. Now, these politicians, yeah, I'm tooting my own horn, I'm patting myself on the back. These politicians, they starting to talk like us now. They're starting to gravitate towards us now because they understand the jig is up. We have made the Second Amendment be a one-issue vote, and we've made the litmus test of, do you support the Second Amendment? Yes or no? No, yeah, but. If you say but, then that nullifies everything you said before. Do you support the Second Amendment? Yeah, I support the Second Amendment. Okay, this, and that. This is the agenda. You don't ask them what's their agenda for the Second Amendment. You give them the agenda. You do like AIPAC. You don't ask them. You give them the agenda and you tell them this what they're going to do. Well, now that we're starting to gain strength, people across the country starting to now take their heart out of it and listen to me and see I'm making a whole lot more sense than they thought. I'm talking about things when it comes to the Second Amendment that people been trying to avoid and they don't want to hear about. Now we talking about it and we bringing it to the forefront, and the politicians starting to respond now. Because for those of you guys and girls who don't know, Jasmine Crockett lost her little spot yesterday. She lost her little race. But when it came to the black vote, I think they said over 80% of the black vote stayed home. When they looked at how many people voted in the election, there was a lot of people in the state of Texas that didn't come out and vote. So, believe me, they keeping their eyes on it. You gotta watch. So, that's the way that go. If they don't want to deal with the Second Amendment the way we want to, we're just gonna stay home. We ain't gonna come out and vote. We're gonna make it a one-issue vote. If you're gonna tamper with one thing, we're just gonna fall out like a bunch of children and start kicking and screaming and say, "You're not my friend anymore." We're gonna take our ball and we're gonna go inside. We're gonna lock the door and we ain't gonna come back out until they apologize and give us a reason to come back out. And that's the way the Second Amendment is gonna be. Let's push for this nationally. Once again, if you live in the state, you know anybody that's into politics, your state, your local politics, that don't mind talking to me, that want to find out what we looking for in the Second Amendment, hell, send them this way. I'll talk to them and I'll tell them exactly what we want. Here's the agenda again, and we're not going to sway from this. We want national reciprocity, national constitutional carry, national purchasing power, which means we can buy firearms anywhere in the country and walk out of the store with them. If you live in Iowa, you can go to Missouri, you can go to Texas, you can go to Florida, you can go to Illinois, you can go anywhere you want and buy a firearm and buy it over the counter, fill out your paperwork, and walk out of the store with it. We also want these assault weapons and these high magazine bans lifted. And I'm even willing to say we can push for fully automatic weapons. Go ahead on and repeal that act. Because we want what the criminals got. It's just that simple. Yeah, having a Glock is one thing. But having a Glock with a switch evens up the playing field. I mean, I know just figuratively, not literally, so don't kill me for that. But be on here and alerts on TV. We're going to stay on them. We done got the conversation started. We done got them scared and we got them shook. So much to the point, as I told you guys and girls out there in Virginia, there was one of the politicians that went all the way back to the 1800s and talking about gun control and how it had a racial origin and the beginning out of racial policy and all that. He sound woke. What DeSantis and all the rest of them call woke, he sound woke talking to them people up there because they see the damage that they done. So we got the needle moving. We done got the ball rolling. If you do GunTube, if you tune into all these GunTube channels and you like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, they watching you to see what your response is. They see that this train is gaining a lot of steam and ain't nothing they can do to stop it. So I just say now, Utah is a state, what we call in the Second Amendment community, a free state, but they understand this is about saving face nationally. You got the whole Epstein thing going on. You got the war in Iran going on on top of other garbage, going on in the country and around the world. So Donald Trump is going to be the person to get this through. If you don't like him, that's fine. When you go in the store to buy something, you don't like some of the people that's in the store. They don't stop you from going in there. You don't have to like Donald Trump. Damn it, put your business aside, and as they say, close your mouth and hold your nose and hold your breath and go ahead on and get the business deal done and sign it, shake hands, and then go on about your business, and then you can exhale. Don't worry about being liked. Worry about making these elected officials do what the hell we elected them to do. One more time. You don't ask them what the agenda is. You tell them what the agenda is, and you make them follow that. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. I just wanted to do that live. I was going to do it pre-recorded. I just thought we would do that live since I was going to have a little bit of time. National reciprocity is really being talked about. National constitutional carry is really being talked about. I don't want to get too excited like something is gonna happen and we're gonna get it. But they listen to us. They watching GunTube. They watching my channel. They watching other channels. They paying attention to y'all comments. They paying attention to the way y'all move, and they starting to respond. So that's from us being in the trenches and putting in work. I told you guys and girls, I didn't never plan on going viral and building the channel of going viral, because if I ever went viral, that's what people would come to see. If I went viral for shooting a M1 or 50 Barrett with 1,000 round belt-fed bullets, fully automatic, then that's what people will want to see. They wouldn't want to hear me talk. So this is organic. It's from the ground up. I done built a foundation, and I'm starting to build a house now. It's gaining steam, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you believe it or not, they watching, they paying attention, and they starting to come out and say, hey, well, in my state, we don't have no restrictions, but we don't like it over here, and they won't negotiate in this state. So what we're going to do is override this state, and we're going to make this a federal thing. Remember, the feds are always over Trump the state. So just make sure we stay up on this. I'll keep you guys and girls posted. And like I said, the Republicans have gotten desperate. And all the things that they had the chance to do when they first walked in office, they scrambling around to at least talk about it now and make it seem like they put some effort forward to go and make these things happen, because they see where it's going. Believe me, don't you think for 1 second these people didn't pay attention to how many people didn't turn out for primaries yesterday. They keep an eye on that. They keep an eye on what groups does these people come from. Not only racial, but our algorithms, what type of stuff we watching. They paying attention. Hey, wait a minute. The Second Amendment community ain't coming out to vote. Why? And then they starting to watch places like this and see why we ain't coming out to vote. And now they starting to talk about doing the things that we told them they're going to do. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. Be safe out there. Hit me in the comment section. Let me know what you think about national constitutional carry and national reciprocity. And one more time, if you're in your state or a federal politician that's willing to talk to me, send them to the Alerts on TV. Send them to this channel. Tell them email me. If they email me and I don't respond, just hit me in the comment section and I'll definitely respond to them, and maybe we can hook something up and make this a federal thing. So until next time, everybody, stay safe, stay armed, stay on high alert.